The movie opens with a young boy named Vassili Zaitsev being taught to hunt by his grandfather. Tying their horse as bait, Vassili's grandfather teaches him to stay as idle as a stone in order to go undetected by the wolf. As if on cue, the animal charges towards the horse, and now frightened, Vassili is commanded to pull the trigger. With a lot of courage, the trembling little boy does as told, unaware of how this significant moment will shape him as a person. The scene then changes to when the world is still facing the terror of World War II. The Nazis have taken over Europe and are now moving towards the oil lands of Asia through the Soviet Union. However, they have one obstacle on their way: the city of Stalingrad, protected by the soldiers of the Russian Red Army. As the battle in the city gets more intense, a backup force is sent on its way to help the Red Army. Among the soldiers boarding the train is Vassili, who has grown to be a skilled sniper. He closely notices the civilians being chased away to make room for more soldiers. After a short ride, they reach the city and are pulled into boarding boats to reach the front line. By the looks of the battlefield, it is obvious that the Nazis have overpowered them entirely, and the backup soldiers are being sent to a suicidal mission. When the army realizes this, some soldiers try to flee, only to be shot dead by their own mates for deserting. The Germans take this as an opportunity and open fire, injuring half of their enemy before they even get a chance to fight back. When the boat finally reaches the dock, the surviving soldiers are immediately grouped into a pair of two where only one of them gets a rifle. Vassili only gets a few bullets and is asked to jump in to help his mates. After separating from his pair almost immediately, his only way to survive is to stay close to the ground and go undetected. Seeing that their chances of winning are slim, a few of his fellow soldiers try escaping, only to be killed by their own people yet again. In no time, the battleground is covered with the dead bodies of the Russian soldiers. A few moments later, a car enters the grim scene but instantly gets hit by a tank. Commissioner Danilov of the Russian army jumps from the wrecked car and hides among the dead bodies, pretending to be dead. He holds his breath as the Germans come over and start shooting the soldiers, ensuring none are alive. Danilov somehow survives the assault and waits until they are out of sight to take a rifle from a dead soldier nearby. Upon realizing the rifle is missing ammo, he is approached by Vassili, who had also been pretending to be dead. He hands over his share of ammo to the commissioner and tells him to shoot when an explosion occurs to ensure they aren't discovered. However, Danilov is hesitant because of his lack of skills, so he hands the rifle over to Vassili. Just as another car arrives and the explosion starts, Vassili surprises the commissioner with his excellent marksmanship and takes down all of the enemy snipers. He is so impressed that later, when they reach the headquarters after being rescued, he prints out some pamphlets to spread Vassili's accomplishment. The higher officials of the Red Army realize their defenses are weak because their soldiers are unwilling to sacrifice their lives for the country. This is causing the Soviet forces to weaken, so Chairman Nikita Khrushchev steps in to rebuild the defense system. He demands his subordinates' ideas to re-evaluate their strategies, but all he gets are the same old strategies until Danilov suggests that they should deliver hope and present a hero who shall inspire everyone to protect their motherland. Taken aback by it, Khrushchev asks if the commissioner will be able to do so. Danilov recommends Vassili and gets permission to print his heroic tales in the military newspaper. Right after, Vassili's skills are recognized, and he is transferred to the sniper division. Soon, the tale of his heroic deed reaches people all over the country, making him the face of the Russian army, as well as a propaganda icon. Consequently, the Russian sniper has taken quite a toll on the Germans, as they go as far as to deploy Major Erwin König, a renowned marksman, and head of an army sniper school in German, in order to kill Vassili. One day, while Vassili is on a mission, he meets a young boy named Sacha, who, like every other citizen, admires him. Sacha invites him to his home, where Danilov brings him letters from his fans which he has to reply to. A while later, a woman named Tania enters the house. She is a soldier from the local militia who is like family to the Filipovs. Vassili remembers that he had seen her on the train on his way to Stalingrad and hopes she remembers him too. However, he is disappointed when she only recognizes him as the war hero. As the group chats, it is obvious that both Danilov and Vassili take an interest in her. Danilov even offers her a job in the headquarters to decipher German codes after finding out that she is fluent in German. Although hesitant, Tanya takes the job when she realizes that she can save a lot of soldiers by doing so. The next day, Vassili is deployed to a former department store where an enemy sniper is causing trouble for the Soviet army. When he reaches there, he spots a shadow near the window and shoots it dead. Confident in his skills, He then takes Ludmila, a comrade, to go inside and check only to find out that it was a decoy to lure them in. In addition, Vassili finds a blunt of cigarette and deduces that the sniper is still inside. Suddenly, several planes fly past the area, bombing the buildings and making Ludmila panic. Vassili tries to calm her down, but she hastily makes a run. As a result, the enemy sniper König easily spots her and shoots her to death. In the following scene, we see him return to his hideout where he gets his shoes cleaned by Sasha. The kid gives him information about Vassili in return for food. After the Red Army learns of König's purpose, they hire Kulikov, König's former student, to help Vassili. Vassili, Kulikov, and Volodya, a member of the sniper team, go into an abandoned building that has a body set up to look like it is the enemy sniper. Assuming it's a trap, they believe they are on the right track and move to a different area. The enemy fires at them, but they luckily manage to reach the safe area without getting hit, and after marking 2 guys, they get ready for dinner. Volodya runs to get the soup that he left in the other room, but gets captured by the enemy in the process. When he refuses to reveal Vassili's whereabouts, he is dressed in a German uniform and sent disguised as their repairman. Without any hesitation, Kulikov shoots him, purposely revealing their location. He then raises a helmet as a decoy for König to shoot and reveal his location as well. However, König gets a hint of what they are up to and doesn't fall for the trap, making them relocate in a hurry. Just as they are moving to a different place, König kills Kulikov, undermining Vassili's spirit. Regardless of the several deaths it has caused, Khrushchev keeps pressuring Danilov to continue the sniper face-off. In addition, Tanya asks him to transfer her back to the militia. When Vassili returns dispirited, Danilov promises him that they will get more intel on König and asks him to make Tanya stay in the headquarters. As requested, Vassili tries to convince her and learns that her parents were among the prisoners executed by the Germans, so she wants to join the militia and fight. He understands her choices and gives her Kulikov's rifle, supporting her decision. At the hideout, König gets his shoe cleaned by Sasha once again, while inquiring about Vassili's whereabouts. The following day, he waits for Vassili at the location Sasha provided, eagerly anticipating his arrival. After a while, Vassili and his comrades stealthily make their way through the pipes, alerting König to their presence. As soon as they emerge from the pipe, König swiftly takes his shot, causing Vassili to drop his rifle and hide behind a rock. He forces his comrade to return to the headquarters because his hand is injured. His return alerts Tanya and Danilov of the situation, and without thinking twice, Tanya goes to rescue Vassili. At the end of the pipe, Vassili constantly makes efforts to pull his weapon with the help of a knife and rope, but König gives him no chance. Just then, a bombing shakes the whole building, and pieces of glass shatter everywhere, which gives König a clear view of Vassili. Subsequently, Tanya enters through the pipe, but Vassili tells her to stay back. He shows her König's location on the same glass through which he is being watched, and instructs her to reflect light with another piece of glass. Tanya effectively does her task, blinding the enemy for a second. Vassili takes the chance to pick up his weapon and manages to shoot König's hand before both parties retreat. Later in the evening, Vassili and Tanya celebrate the small victory with other comrades. The following day, Vassili tells Danilov that he wants to be a regular soldier because both König and the title of a war hero have weighed him down. Danilov doesn't accept it and manipulates him using Sasha, revealing that he has been working as a double agent. Through the kid, they now know the exact location König is in, and Vassili is tasked to a final mission. In the following scene, we see him camouflage with the dead bodies on the ground remaining idle, just like his grandfather taught him. The scene of the day he learned to hunt plays before his eyes, and as he waits for König, eventually he dozes off, and his sniper log is stolen by a looting German soldier. The German command takes the log as evidence of Vassili's death and plans to send König home, as the Soviet propaganda will benefit if he gets murdered. Amidst all this, König is 100% sure that Vassili is still alive. Then, the headquarters announces Vassili's death through loudspeakers, sending the troop into chaos. Meanwhile, in an attempt to catch Vassili, König tells Sasha his next location, believing that the kid will surely bring the information to the enemy. Somewhere else, with no hint of Vassili's return, Danilov starts writing an announcement of his death when the protagonist surprises everyone by appearing out of nowhere. He soon finds out through Sasha that Tanya went to the station to attempt to kill König on her own. Vassili and Danilov go to rescue her in a hurry and luckily find her safe. Happy to see Vassili alive, Tanya plants a kiss on his lips, which in turn makes Danilov jealous. Forgetting his responsibility towards his troop, he returns to the headquarters and writes that Vassili has become a traitor. Meanwhile, König, whose suspicions have now been cleared, kills Sasha, and hangs him for Vassili and Tania to see. An angered Tania wants to avenge his death, but Vassili vows to kill König for her and sends her to evacuate Sasha's mother. Danilov and Tania don't know how to break it to Mrs. Filippov, so they lie to her that Sasha has joined the Germans. She hopes that her son is still safe and decides to escape with the special pass given by Danilov. While trying to get on the boat, a bomb explodes and hurts Tania, making her fall unconscious. The doctor has no hopes of her surviving, so he doesn't let her into the boat. Mrs. Filippov, however, convinces the personnel that Tania is her daughter and shows them the pass before they allow her to board. Somewhere else, an oblivious Danilov finds Vassili and shares the tragic news of Tania's death, burdening himself with guilt. Overwhelmed with regret, he blames himself and decides to give up on life by exposing himself to König. The sniper wastes no time shooting him, thus giving away his own position. In a surprising turn of events, the König approaches cautiously, expecting victory, but is met with surprise when he sees Vassili waiting for him. Accepting his fate, König lets Vassili shoot him and dies in the encounter. After the chaos ends, Vassili retrieves his rifle and places it beside Danilov's lifeless body as a sign of respect. 2 months later, when Stalingrad has been free from German, Vassili receives a letter from Tania that she is recovering at the field hospital. Eager to see her again, he visits the address mentioned in the letter, and the movie ends as we witness a heartfelt reunion between the two.